A $100,000 salary is supposed to mean you made it. Not rich, maybe, but safe, comfortable, responsible, ahead of the average person. But for millions of people, $100,000 now feels completely different. The rent is paid. The car is paid. The credit cards are barely moving. The groceries cost more than expected. The insurance is higher than last year. And by the 25th of the month, the account is almost empty again. So the real question is not, why are you bad with money? The real question is, where did your paycheck actually go? Because if you earn a decent income and still feel broke, the problem may not be your salary. It may be the path your money takes after it hits your account. Welcome to Malcolm Hayes Money, where your paycheck really goes. This channel breaks down how money really works. Not the motivational version. Not the fake luxury version. Not the advice that sounds good in a 30-second clip, but falls apart when rent, taxes, debt, food, insurance, and real life show up. Here, we look at money patterns. Why income disappears. Why normal decisions become expensive over time. Why people earning good money can still feel trapped. And why some people build wealth quietly, while others keep earning more and still never feel safe. Today, we are starting with one of the most painful financial questions in modern America. Why can a $100,000 salary still feel broke? And more importantly, what has to change before that paycheck starts working for you instead of disappearing from you? Let's start with the number everyone talks about. $100,000 a year. It sounds clean. It sounds successful. It sounds like enough. But nobody lives on gross income. You live on what actually lands in your bank account. Before you pay rent, before you buy food, before you touch a single bill, the first cut comes out. Federal taxes, state taxes, depending on where you live, Social Security, Medicare, sometimes health insurance premiums, sometimes retirement contributions, sometimes other payroll deductions. So that $100,000 salary does not feel like $100,000 in real life. For many people, after taxes and payroll deductions, it may feel closer to something in the range of $5,500 to $6,000 per month. Not exact for everyone. Different states, families, benefits, and tax situations change the number. But the point is simple. The salary sounds bigger than the life it actually buys. So let's use a clean example. Imagine someone takes home about $5,800 per month. That sounds decent. Until the month starts. Now the first major expense hits. Housing. In many cities, rent or mortgage payment can easily take $2,000 to $3,000 per month once you include utilities, insurance, fees, and the other costs people forget to count. Let's use $2,400. That leaves $3,400. Then transportation hits. Car payment, $550. Car insurance, $175. Gas, $150. Maintenance, registration, tires, and repairs do not show up every month, but they are still real, so average them out. Call transportation, $900 per month. Now that $3,400 becomes $2,500. Then food hits. Groceries, household items, and a few meals out. Not luxury, not steak dinners, just life. Call it $950. Now there is $1,550 left. Then come the quiet bills. Phone, internet, streaming, and subscriptions. Healthcare costs, prescriptions, gym, clothes, haircuts, pet expenses, gifts, and random fees. Small things. Normal things. Forgettable things. And this is where people get fooled. Because one small bill does not destroy your finances, but 20 small bills can. By the time a normal month is over, that $100,000 income may have only a few $100s of true breathing room left. And sometimes not even that. This is why people feel crazy. On paper, they make good money. In reality, the money is already spoken for before they ever get to use it. Let's give this a face. Imagine Marcus. He is 34. He works a solid job. He earns close to $100,000 a year. He is not irresponsible. He is not buying designer clothes every weekend. He is not flying private. And he is not gambling his paycheck away. He is living what most people would call a normal middle-class life. His take-home pay is around $5,800 per month. Here is what his month looks like. Rent and utilities, $2,400. Car insurance, gas and maintenance, $900. Groceries and household basics, $650. Eating out and coffee, $300. Phone and internet, $150. Healthcare costs, $200. Subscriptions and apps, $100. Personal care, clothes and basic shopping, $200. Minimum debt payments, $300. That is already about $5,200. Before a real emergency, before travel, before holidays, before replacing a phone, before a car repair, before helping family, before saving for a house, before investing seriously. So Marcus has about $600 left in a clean month. That sounds okay, until real life arrives. A wedding invitation, a dental bill, a car repair, a family birthday, a work trip that is only partially reimbursed, a higher electric bill, a medical copay, a small credit card balance that keeps rolling forward. None of these things are dramatic. None of these things look like a financial crisis. But they eat the margin. And when the margin disappears, Marcus does what millions of people do. He says, I make too much money to feel this broke. And he is right to be confused. Because he is not broke because of one terrible decision. He is broke because a normal life has been built on top of a paycheck with no real system. That is the trap. The first trap is lifestyle inflation. Most people think lifestyle inflation means luxury cars, expensive watches, or designer bags. Sometimes it does. But most of the time, lifestyle inflation looks normal. It looks like moving from an older apartment to a nicer one. It looks like replacing a paid-off car with a newer monthly payment. It looks like upgrading the phone because the payment is only a little more. It looks like ordering food because you are tired. It looks like saying yes to a few things because you finally earn enough to feel like you deserve them. None of these decisions feel insane. That is why they are dangerous. When Marcus made $50,000, he lived in a smaller place and drove an older car. When he made $75,000, he upgraded a little. When he hit $100,000, he upgraded again. Each upgrade felt reasonable. But together, they captured the entire raise. That is lifestyle inflation. It is not one giant mistake. It is the slow process of turning every increase in income into a permanent increase in expenses. And once your fixed expenses rise, your freedom shrinks. The second trap is the car payment trap. This one destroys more wealth than people want to admit. A car payment does not feel dangerous because it is monthly. $500 sounds manageable. $600 sounds normal. $700 is now common enough that people barely blink. But the car payment is never just the car payment. It is insurance, gas, maintenance, repairs, registration, depreciation, interest, and the opportunity cost of not investing that money. A car that costs $600 per month can easily become $900 or $1,000 per month once everything is included. Over 5 years, that is tens of thousands of dollars. And at the end of it, the car is worth far less than what you paid. This is why monthly payment thinking is dangerous. It asks only one question. Can you afford this every month? But the better question is, what will this decision cost my future? The middle class does not get destroyed by one big luxury purchase. It often gets drained by things that look normal. And a car payment is one of the most normal-looking traps in America. The third trap is the bigger house illusion. A house can be a powerful wealth-building tool, but only if the numbers actually work. The problem is that many people treat the bank's approval as permission. The bank says, you qualify for this much. So the buyer hears, you can afford this much. Those are not the same sentence. A lender tells you what you are allowed to borrow, not what allows you to sleep at night, not what gives you room to invest, not what lets you survive a job loss, not what protects you from lifestyle pressure. A house payment that consumes too much of your take-home pay becomes a beautiful cage. A bigger kitchen, a nicer neighborhood, a garage, a backyard, and no breathing room. That is how people become house poor. They own the home, but the home owns the paycheck. If the house forces you to stop investing, stop saving, and start living one emergency away from panic, it is not a dream. It is a trap with a front door. The fourth trap is debt that looks small. This is where people get quietly robbed. A few $1,000s on a credit card. A small personal loan. A buy now pay later balance. A minimum payment that looks harmless. The number does not look scary, so the danger feels small. But high-interest debt is not small. It compounds against you. Especially today, with credit card interest rates hitting record highs. A $4,000 credit card balance can stay alive for years if you only make small payments. And during that time, you are not just paying for what you bought. You are paying for the delay. The bank is being paid because you did not pay cash. That is the part people miss. Debt turns yesterday's spending into tomorrow's paycheck problem. And when enough of your paycheck is already paying for the past, you cannot use it to build the future. That is why debt feels heavy even when the payment looks small. The fifth trap is the most underrated. No system for what is left. Most people treat saving as something that happens after the month is over. Income comes in. Bills get paid. Life happens. Then they try to save whatever remains. But for most people, nothing remains. Not because they are stupid. Because money without a job disappears. If every dollar is just sitting in checking, waiting to be used, eventually something will use it. A sale, a bill, a dinner, a repair, a subscription, a transfer you forgot about, a random purchase that feels small in the moment. This is why hoping to save rarely works. You do not build wealth from whatever happens to be left. You build wealth by giving money a destination before life gets a chance to spend it. That is the shift. Not more motivation. Not more guilt. Structure.s. Oh, how do you fix this? Not by pretending life is cheap. Not by shaming yourself for buying coffee. Not by making a budget so strict that you quit after 2 weeks. You fix it by changing the flow of the paycheck. Most people use the broken model. Income comes in. Bills get paid. Spending happens. Whatever is left gets saved. That model fails because it puts your future last. The better model is simple. Income comes in. The future gets paid first. Bills get paid second. Lifestyle gets whatever remains. This is sometimes called paying yourself first. But do not think of it as a motivational phrase. Think of it as a system design. If 10% of your income moves automatically into savings or investments before you touch it, then your future is no longer competing with every restaurant, every subscription, every upgrade, and every impulse in your life. At $100,000 per year, 10% is about $10,000 per year. That is roughly $830 per month. If invested consistently over long periods, and assuming reasonable long-term growth that is never guaranteed, that can become a serious amount of money. But the exact number is not the point. The point is the direction. One version of you earns $100,000 and lets the entire paycheck pass through life with no structure. Another version of you earns the same $100,000 and captures part of it automatically before it disappears. Same income, different path, different future. Now imagine Jasmine. Same age as Marcus. Same city. Same $100,000 salary. Same take-home pay. But Jasmine does one thing differently. The day her paycheck arrives, money automatically moves out. Part goes to an emergency fund. Part goes to retirement. Part goes to long-term investing. She does not wait to feel motivated. She does not wait to see what is left. She does not negotiate with herself every month. The system moves the money first. That means Jasmine has slightly less available to spend. So she makes slightly different decisions. She drives the older car a little longer. She rents a place that is good enough, not perfect. She eats out, but not every time she feels tired. She avoids turning every raise into a new fixed payment. These choices are not dramatic. Nobody claps for them. Nobody makes a movie about them. But after 5 years, Jasmine has margin. After 10 years, she has options. After 15 years, she looks like she made completely different money than Marcus. But she did not. She simply protected part of the paycheck before life could absorb it. That is the entire game. Not flashy. Not complicated. Not fake luxury. A system. Repeated long enough to matter. So if you take one idea from this video, take this. A high salary does not automatically create wealth. A better paycheck can still disappear if it flows through the wrong system. The problem is not always that you need to earn more. Sometimes the problem is that every dollar you earn already has somewhere else to go. Housing, cars, debt, lifestyle upgrades, random bills, small leaks, old decisions. And if you do not design the path your paycheck takes, the world will design it for you. That is why $100,000 can feel broke. Not because the income is meaningless, but because income without structure gets absorbed. Your paycheck is not just a number. It is a path. And the faster you understand that path, the faster you can change it. This channel exists to help you see those money paths clearly. Every week, we will break down another trap, another habit, another quiet decision that shapes your financial future. If this video helped you see your money differently, subscribe to Malcolm Hayes Money. No fake luxury. No crypto hype. No confusing jargon. Just clear money breakdowns, real numbers, and practical lessons. Now you know where your paycheck really goes. I will see you in the next one.